half the shit that happens in this family is because you can't keep your mouth shut and you are always in everybody's business.
Wow.
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Mark Dark, and I'm back with another video. If you're new, if you love power, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like the video and leave your theories, comments, everything down below. Now today we're going to be talking about Power Book 2 Ghosts, Season 2, Episode 9. This is the recap. Now I'm going to try my best to focus on all the key points in this episode. If I miss anything, you guys let me know down below. And man, Episode 9 was crazy, y'all. It was crazy. A lot of different things happened. Your boy, Mecca, is a flat-out rat. He is a flat-out rat. And, you know, as I told you guys in my quick thoughts, early impressions, at first, I was kind of respecting Mecca a little bit, but now he gotta go. And y'all already know how it is in Power, and y'all know the history. Rats, they don't usually make it, and they don't usually last that long. So what's going to happen to Mecca? I got a feeling that Monet, with the help of Tariq and with Kane, they're going to, orchestrate this game plan to try to neutralize Mecca and get him up out of there. At the end of the day, we know that your girl Monet mentioned taking down Lorenzo. We're going to see if that is her true plan and if that's really going to happen in next week's season finale. But it's about to go down. Your girl Effie, she did some things in this episode that's going to have Tariq asking her some questions down the line. And more importantly, Tariq needs to ask himself some questions on why he is telling Effie all of his business. Like, dude, you're not that close to her. But I guess he has opened up with her the last few episodes. He felt like she was the only one that held things down. I already told you guys, based off her history alone, she can never be trusted. But Tariq feels like he can trust her. So now he's going to have to deal with those consequences of letting Effie know all of this information. And things was not looking too good for your girl Lauren. Now, I told you guys in my Quick Thoughts Early Impressions video, I think when they don't show us 100% that a person is taken out completely, it's a high chance that that person may return to the show. Have we seen things like this before in Power? Kind of. Kind of different circumstances, but we do know that Lakeisha came back, where they made it seem like something happened to Lakeisha, but we know Tommy Egan, he took her and put her in hiding. Now with Lauren, we know she was taking some punishment from Effie, and they made it seem like Effie was going to do something to her, especially after how the end of the episode ended. So they left it like that to have us just guessing and wondering what really happened to Lauren. But until they actually show us that she is gone, I'm not going to believe it until we actually see it. But what do you guys think? Let me know down below. But let's begin this recap. What did we see in episode 9? Now, the episode starts off with Tariq once again having a bad dream. And this time around, he is seeing all the people that he pretty much had some type of plan or doing. And, as far as them being taken out, right? We see Kanan. We see, of course, the OG, the dirty cop, the man that took out Raina. Ray has returned to the Power universe. Now, I'm used to seeing this dude playing Wu-Tang now, but man, we all know this man definitely put in that work in the OG Power. Now, as I told you, Raina, she is here, and she's like the main ghost that we see each and every season since she's passed. We've seen Raina in every single season of Power since this girl has passed. And then we see Lakeisha. Lakeisha is telling Tariq, like, yeah, I'm gone because of you. Your mom did what she did to me because of you, Tariq. And then after they show her, they show J. Kelly, Jabari Reynolds, and then they show the OG, triple OG, Joe Proctor. And Joe Proctor's name has been mentioned a lot because of Davis McLean. A lot of the fans are trying to compare the two. Everybody's wondering who would do better. Who would you pick, Joe Proctor or Davis McLean? And then they show Professor Milgram, and of course, she is putting blame on Tariq too, telling him it was his fault that she testified and the things that happened to her is all on him. And then we see her putting the phone up of Dad, of the person that, to be 100% honest, everybody really wants to see. They want to see James St. Patrick because they showing everybody else. They showing the ghost of everybody else. But where is the real ghost. Good little poke at the fans. As I told you guys, this right here, all it's going to do is stir up the conversation once again. And some of the Power fans are going to go back and forth and have that conversation talking about, is Ghost really alive or is he dead? Like I told you, when they put stuff in the show like this, all it's going to do is promote the show even more, and it's going to have people asking, those questions. And then they show Lauren, she's about to go in there. Tariq is like, no, you can't go in there. I cannot have that happen, right? It was kind of a hint of what may happen to Lauren in this episode. Something that Tariq, did not want to happen to Lauren was her to be taken out. Now, we see Davis McLean. He's talking about, what does Rashad Tate know about you that I don't? We know Rashad Tate will be the next witness on the stand, and now he has to prepare himself for what's to come. Now, we know Rashad Tate has a conversation with his brother Kamal, and everything seems good, right? Kamal is telling Rashad Tate, this lady is keep calling him about, her seeing two people, changing the stories up about what she saw at the crime scene of Professor Jabari Reynolds. Rashad Tate knows the system. He knows exactly what he wants to do. In that, since this information has not been presented yet in court, he can use this as an advantage for himself and what he really needs. The thing is, he's kind of like telling his brother, maybe you should tell them, maybe you shouldn't, and all this stuff. But Rashad Tate already knew what he wanted to do. He knew what time it was. He knew by bringing this up in court, it was going to mess everything up. You cannot hide potential evidence at all, especially in a case like this. Now, your girl Monet, she is looking up information on the Daily Stallion about Professor Milgram, Miss Ghost Stallions, and of course, this whole thing is ruled a suicide, which we already knew was going to happen, and it was no big deal about this. I knew they weren't going to, make a big deal about this, especially after all the stuff that's going on with all these different bodies. They was pretty much just going to move on from this. Now, Mecca comes, and we already know Monet, she was going to tell him that Zeke is not talking to her. And I told you guys in my prediction, I had a feeling that Mecca was going to be like, look, I'm going to fix this. Don't worry. Zeke calls Mecca, and Mecca said, look, I'm going to make sure that he gets back on your side and that he wants to actually talk to you. Now we get to your boy Rashad Old Dog Tate. And I'm talking about Old Dog because Old Dog is tired of Tariq talking about what he's going to do. He's tired of this hearsay. He needs some physical evidence on Rick Sweeney. And Tariq, of course, is telling him, look, I got you. I'm going to get you this. Rashad Tate like, man, look, you been talking about what you going to get me. You need to get me this information because if you don't, it's going to be bad news for you, dude, because I got to go up there and testify. I got to tell them what I know. So if you're smart, get me that information. Now, Mecca, he's not playing around. Kane is trying to leave. Kane is like, look, man, I got to go. Mecca's like, man, I need you to work. You know how this goes. He grabs Kane up. Kane ain't looking too tough no more. Look at him. Got this man choked up. Easy work for Mecca. And to be honest, Mecca is probably been wanting to do this, especially since he knows Kane was the one that robbed him, which he will tell him later on in the episode. But Mecca is telling Kane he's been promoted to his number 2 and that, he can pretty much track where Kane is at all times. Now Kane has all this pressure on him as far as being the number 2 and fulfilling Mecca's every need. Now Kane is having a conversation with Lorenzo. Lorenzo needs his re-up. He's like, man, what's going on? Of course, Kane tells him that Mecca was robbed. Everything is shut down as of right now, and he got to go. Lorenzo pissed off. He's telling Kane, like, look, come home. On top of that, Mecca is like, man, hang up. We ain't got time to be messing around with this dude. Just hang up on him. So, of course, Lorenzo, he's upset. He's heated. He's like, man, somebody playing with me. They messing with my business, messing everything up. Somebody got to pay. Where the hell is little guap at? I mean, I just don't know what's going on. He's tearing up the house, and he's having a conversation with Drew. Drew, he's like, man, look, Pops, I got to tell you the truth. I got to tell you what I know. We had to rob Mecca. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much told him everything. And now Lorenzo's like, really? Y'all did all this? You did all of this for revenge because you wanted to get back at little guap. So now he is telling Drew and Diana to go get his product. Stop playing with him, right? Now Tariq meets up with Rashad Tate and he gives him the picture of Rick Sweeney in blackface. And Tariq is asking him what's going to happen. Like, is he good? Rashad Tate is telling him, like, look, I got this. You don't worry about nothing. I got this. We know Rashad Tate is going to use this to get that leverage. He's going to take this photo to Stephen Ott later on in the episode. And once Rashad Tate gets on stand, everything is going good at first. Y'all know how Rashad Tate do. He makes it seem like everything is good. And then he kind of flips the switch on you just like that, right? Now, his brother is just out there looking like, what the hell is he talking about? Because Rashad Tate mentions the whole witness seeing two people. That is something that no one knows about and that, to be 100% honest, his brother didn't even want to talk about. But by doing this, by withholding information and evidence like this, that's a Brady violation. And that is against all codes, right? So now the judge is like, what the hell is going on? Davis McLean is like, well, since she already violated, you might as well have a mistrial. The judge is like, look, I'm going to give you 48 hours because Jenny Sullivan is like, please give me a week. I can investigate and find out what was really going on and, just give me some time. The judge ain't going for any of that. He says, look, I'll give you 48 hours to find out if there's any violations within y'all, of course, information that y'all got. And that's all you got. So if it is a Brady violation, I am giving this whole case a mistrial. So now Jenny has to go and do some research. Now we get to your boy, Freaky Zeke. Did y'all hear Freaky Zeke's voicemail when Monet kept calling him? Had me cracking up. But he's having a conversation with Mecca, and Mecca is telling him, like, look, he can get him a personal trainer. He can focus 100% on basketball because, if he does that, even if this lie does get out, the Kings, they're going to still want you because you're going to be that good. So now Zeke is like, all right, you're going to do that. And of course, Mecca is telling him, you're my son. That's the least that I can do for you, right? Now, Drew, he is having a conversation with Diana. He is telling her you messed up by airing out Monet's business. And, it's messing everything up. Now, Diana is telling him, look, it is what it is. You, on the other hand, you need to worry about Ev. And if you can get that, ID card up out of him because you've been slipping up as well. A lot of you guys have been saying that Diana, she said too much. At the end of the day, your girl Diana is like, look, y'all ain't going to keep coming at me like that. I'm going to come at y'all even harder. And in this episode, we got a little bit of Dirty Diana once again. Now, Mecca is able to convince Zeke to have a conversation, to have a sit down with Monet and him. And look at Zeke's face. Just look at this dude. He don't know what the hell is going on. Monet is telling him what really happened, how she was 16 and she was scared. And, of course, Mecca, he was all in different types of trouble. And this is one of the reasons why she did not tell him all this stuff. She's pretty much just telling him the story. Zeke, he still don't know what the hell is going on. And he's telling them, like, look, when it's all said and done, after I go to the NBA, I'm through with both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all ain't got nothing else to worry about. Y'all ain't got to worry about looking out for me, taking care of me. I'm up out of here. Now, Mecca, he was trying to, of course, help Monet. He was telling her, like, look, Monet had every right not to tell me I was stupid. I was in, all types of crazy stuff. So it makes sense on why she didn't tell me. And Zeke still ain't trying to hear it. Zeke got his mind made up. He's trying to go out there and make a decision without everybody's influence on him. And we already know Zeke, he ain't the best decision maker, especially by himself. Now we get to Drew, and he gets the ID card of Ev. He was kind of hesitant for a little bit. I'm looking like, man, Drew, stop playing around. You in there all cuddled up with Ev. You need to be getting that card. Stop playing around with this dude. To be honest, Ev, he shouldn't even be here, but he is still, and that may just come back up. But I guess as of right now, Ev is good. And it doesn't look like anything's going to happen to him, at least for now. And then we get to Braden and Trace. And Jenny Sullivan, she, of course, is asking these questions. Braden was doing a good job. He's like, look, I don't know nothing about nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're trying to ask me these questions. I don't know anything. But Trace decides that, no, yes, you do. You know exactly who Kane is. He kidnapped us, and he's pretty much working. He was working with Officer Ramirez, him and Tariq. I mean, this dude is a flat out rat. In this episode, all we got was rats. A lot of rats, right? And Jenny Sullivan, she pulled out the whole picture of Brayden and his brother because Brayden was like, man, that never happened. I don't know what dude talking about. She brought out the picture talking about, I can, bring you to court or take you to court because of this. We can indict you because of this information. Like, what's up? So I need you to testify, or I guess your brother's going to have to testify. Trace, he's happy. He's like, I'll testify. Like, Trace, it is time for you to go. It's time for you to go. Go back to the show that you was on the CW. Be on that show because in Power, we don't do rats. And it's just a matter of time before he is taken out. He thinks it's a joke. I guess what Kane did to him, it wasn't enough. But I guess he's going to have to find out the hard way. And I hope and pray that his time is coming. Something has to happen to that dude. He needs another beatdown. He just needs to be taken out. We know this, right? But we're going to see how they're going to write this out. Then we get to Tariq and Brayden. They're having a conversation an argument. And Brayden is like, man, so Rashad Tate helped you out. That means you gave him that picture. Like, what's up? Like, how did you even get the picture? Tariq is like, look, don't worry about all that. He had to do what he had to do. This is life or death. He had to protect his family. Of course, Brayden is like, man, well, it ain't always just about you. I have to do things for my family as well. And Tariq tells him, like, well, look, your family good. Rick Sweeney ain't good, but your pops is good. Everything is going to go down on him. That's it. And Brayden just, he walks off. He's like, man, screw all that. Like I said, he believes everything is about him. And now Brayden is, he's not feeling it at all. So we're going to see how that all plays out. I cannot wait to see the look of Rick Sweeney's face when he figures out that Rashad Tate aired him out. Then we get to your girl, Dirty Diana. Not regular Diana, because in this episode, she took it up a notch once again. Now, of course, she's telling Tariq that everybody's mad at her because she aired out Monet's business and it pretty much messed everything up. But we know Diana, she was just using this opportunity to get close to Tariq, to get him to leave. And she gets the whole QR code from his phone. So that way she can unlock all those different, drop boxes that's going to be outside of, full of brick. So she can get the product back, her and Drew. So Dirty Diana, she strikes once again. Like I told you guys, she's quiet, but she has very, very loud results. She does not play around, and it goes to show you just how dangerous she really is. Now, it seems like Lorenzo was kind of pissed off at Diana because he was giving Drew, some props just based off his facial expressions, but Diana was kind of upset that she didn't get that same type of feeling from Lorenzo. And Lorenzo, now he was happy. He got that product. Of course, him and Drew, they went out there, they put in that work, did they drops, and now he's happy that he's getting that money. But I'm telling you, he was having a very, very rough episode at the very beginning, but it ended okay for him. Now let's get to your boy, Freaky Zeke. And y'all know when we talking about Zeke, you just never know what's going to happen. So, of course, he's having this whole press conference, telling everybody that he's going to be going to the NBA. And not only that, he has to leave Stansfield to focus on the whole draft and everything like that. But all of a sudden, information about Zeke is out there and about him being 23. And now it's all these different questions. And now Zeke's chances of going to the Kings, they're up in the air. His agent is telling him, like, look, if this is true, you can kiss your chances of going to the Kings. You can kiss that right away because that's over. So now Freaky Zeke doesn't know what he's going to do. Now Tariq is having a conversation with Lauren, but this time around, Lauren lets Tariq know all of the truth about what really happened as far as the whole wire and that she was trying to protect him. Professor Milgram, she got her to wear the wire, agreed to do that, but she tells Tariq that Brayden was the one that they was looking at, not him, and that they got Brayden and Kane on tape because of the whole wire that she had. So now Tariq understands that he needs to get Lauren into protection and that she has to get away very, very fast, because if this gets out, her days are numbered. So now Tariq has to come up with a plan to get Lauren up out of here. It's not looking too good. As I told you guys, his little dark dream that he had, it was pretty much just hinting that something may happen to Lauren. Now we get to your boy Zeke, Mecca, and of course Monet. This is the basketball court shootout that we already knew was going to happen, right? And everything seems cool, but then all of a sudden we see the car, the van, whatever, pull up with the straps, and they start busting. Luckily, it was a lot of, things in the way so that the people, the shooters, could not get a very good target on Monet, Mecca, or of course Zeke. And Mecca, he is looking very shook. Mecca is like, man, what's going on? Then Monet is like, you got somebody after you or something? Like, this ain't making sense. Like, is everything good? And Mecca's like, man, nah, I ain't got nobody after me. Do you think this is Lorenzo? So now we don't know what's going on. We know Mecca is a certified global snitch, so he can have anybody after him. He looking kind of shaky, and he's looking like he got some people coming after him. And deep down inside, Mecca knows that he's a marked man. He knows he needs to get up out of Dodge, and that taking Monet and everybody else with him is probably the best option. So you already know he's going to continue to promote that, talking about we need to leave. We need to go start over. Yeah, you want to start over. You definitely want to start over, because I'm pretty sure you started over a whole lot of times, especially after all the people that you ratted out. Now Tariq makes the stupidest mistake that I can possibly think of as of right now. Why are you telling Effie all of your information after Davis McLean has already told you trust nobody? After she already screwed you over in the original Power. But Tariq wants to open up entirely too much. Now I can understand letting Effie know a little bit, especially after he was locked up and he got out. Effie was there, so he felt like he needed a shoulder to lean on, and that, he wanted to talk, right? But when you start airing out every little thing, that's a huge mistake. Now, you would think somebody like Tariq will be a little bit smarter than that, but I guess when it comes to Effie, he's kind of, open. You know what I'm saying? Entirely too much. Like, dude, are you crazy? Doesn't make sense to me, but hey, it is what it is. He's telling her about Lauren wearing a wire, of course, getting information on Braden and Kane. I'm looking like, dude, you telling her exactly what time it is. Now she's going to, of course, do something about this, because she knows you kind of hesitant on Lauren because you like her so much. And what does Effie do? She does exactly what we think she's going to do. She goes and she tells Kane, like, what in the hell is going on here? She tells Kane this information. Earlier on in the season, she was talking about how she didn't really trust Kane like that and all this and that. Well, now you're telling him information about Lauren, and pretty much this information can protect him. And Kane is asking questions like, man, so Tariq was going to let this just happen? And Effie was like, yes. He was just going to let her, do what she wanted to do, right? So now I'm looking like, okay, so is Kane going to clap Effie's cheeks? Like, what time is this? Like, something is still off about all of this. Now, of course, Kane goes to Braden and tells Braden, like, look, Lauren, she got information on us, man. She got that tape, and you need to handle this. Plain and simple. You know what time it is. It is time to get rid of her. She's a rat. She got to go, right? So now Braden, he's shaky. Braden ain't ready for this. Yes, he talks about what he wants to do, and, he loves this lifestyle. But, man, we know when it's time to really do something, especially like this, it's easier said than done. And Braden, he doesn't really want to do it. But Kane lets him know if he doesn't do it, something bad is going to happen to him, right? And we know his brother Trace, his life is definitely going to be on the line. If I was Kane, I'll just take Trace out anyway. Even if Lauren is neutralized, take Trace out regardless. He got to go as well. Now we get to your boy Rashad Tate. And finally, he got the information. He got the evidence on Rick Sweeney, because we know Tariq gave him the picture, and he gives this picture to Stephen Ott. We know at the very beginning of the season, Stephen Ott told him, don't come back to him unless he has some solid information on Rick Sweeney, right? and he will back Rashad Tate if he does have this evidence. And Steven, I was pissed off when he saw this picture. Look at him. He's looking like, man, once this gets out, it's all bad news for Rick Sweeney. Now, Jenny Sullivan, she meets up with Brayden, telling him that you know what's going to happen to Trace once he testifies. You know Kane going to come after him. But you can change that if you give me information on Kane Tejada. That way he can be locked up and your brother will be good. You won't have nothing to worry about. Now, of course, Brayden is like, man, I don't know about that. But he is telling her he ain't doing it at all. He's not testifying. Based on the episode 10 trailer, it definitely seems like Brayden will be entering court. And I want to know exactly what he's going to do. But she does have a point. Trace is probably going to go if he testifies. And the Kane is, out. Now, Tariq meets up with Daniel Warren. And apparently it is Yasmin's birthday. And she's having a good time with her new family, right? And Tariq, he's feeling very, very bad. I already told you guys, Tariq is dealing with entirely too much to try to be taking care of his sister. Yes, it is sad, but it is what it is. The lifestyle that he is living, he cannot afford to even be around his sister because you're going to put her in a whole lot of danger. And he's starting to see the consequences of living this lifestyle, and that, the people that he loves, especially his sister, he's not going to be able to be around like that, especially if he wants to continue to protect her. Now, Monet, she is telling Mecca, like, look, we can go ahead and let's take out Lorenzo. You can. Lorenzo was the one to put out that information about Zeke and his age, and I got a feeling he was the one that put out that hit at the basketball court on us as well. They were trying to pretty much mess Zeke's future up as far as basketball. Mecca is like, look, I got a better plan. How about I take you, all of your kids, and we get up out of here? I'm just trying to leave. So Mecca, he ain't even trying to take out Lorenzo. He is trying to get up out of Dodge because he knows what time it is. This dude is a flat out rat, and he gotta go. As I told you guys, I had a little bit respect for Mecca at the very beginning of the season up until now in this episode. But now, no. The dude gotta go. He's a flat out rat, and he cannot be trusted. Now, Effie is having a conversation with Brayden. This is the exclusive clip that we saw, at least some of it, a few days back. But she's telling him, like, look, you signed up for this. You chose this lifestyle. It did not choose you, like it has chosen a lot of different people, including me, right? So you got to do what you got to do. You know what you need to do. Brayden is talking about, look, you don't even know what I got to do. But Effie definitely knows what time it is. She knows what he has to do. Brayden, I guess, ain't no turning back. You chose this life, and now you're in a position where you got to go out there and get the job done. But it's going to be very, very difficult for him to do that. Now, Mecca is pissed off. He was telling Kane that he's going to be out of town for a little bit, and he's looking for his bag, and he does not see it. He cannot find it. He is pissed off. He goes straight from 0 to 100 real quick. Goes out there, tells Kane what the hell is going on. Tells Kane, like, look, I already know you robbed me already, and I'll let you breathe. But now you messed up. Don't touch my bag. We know Mecca's information is all up in that bag. And, of course, he has to track her. And we know that it's at Stansfield. So now Mecca is going to go to Stansfield, and he's going to have a conversation with Tariq. And we know Kane, he has to make a call. So Mecca is allowing this dude to stay there with a phone and, live after knowing all this information, right? Goes to show you that Mecca was just using Kane in the first place. We already talked about this. We know what Mecca was doing and why he was keeping Kane alive, because of Monet. Monet is like, man, you got to send me a picture of this Mecca dude. Like, something's not right. If he thought you did, or if he knows you robbed him, why in the hell is he letting you live? So something's not right about this. Send me a picture of this dude. Now, Tariq calls Davis McLean after Kane gives him the information about Mecca being on his way up there. And Davis McLean tells him, like, look, this dude is a straight up informant. And if I was you, I would stay far away from him. Tariq goes into that bag. He is, learning all this information about this rat, Mecca. And he is ready for the conversation that he's going to have with Mecca later on in the episode. Now, Tariq does tell Brayden to go pick up Lauren. Lauren, she goes and she meets up with Brayden, and Brayden is supposed to be taking her to safety. She's supposed to be good, but we know things don't go well for Lauren, and Brayden is looking very shaky. He doesn't really want to do this at all. And I'm surprised that your girl Lauren even went with him. I was thinking that she would probably stay with her family and maybe, try to go and hide in a different way. But, hey, she trusts Tariq after all this stuff has went down. Now, Tariq is having a conversation with Davis McLean, as I told you guys, and now it is time to prepare for this conversation that he's going to have with Mecca. Now, Mecca is telling Tariq, like, look, I know you. I know a whole lot about you. I know your pops, Ghost. I know your Uncle Tommy. And I know what you did to him. So who in the hell told you? Who told Mecca that Tariq took out Ghost? Because as far as I know, the only people that knew about that was the people that was real close to him, like his mom's, Tommy, I believe Rashad Tate knew a little bit, and Cooper Sacks. But how in the hell does Mecca know? This dude is a super snitch, a super informant. And Tariq tells him, like, look, you like the GOAT of global snitching. Like, really? This man is the GOAT of global snitching. Internationally known to be a snitch. I mean, it all makes sense now, right? And of course, Mecca doesn't want to listen to this. He's pissed off. He's like, what the hell do you want? Like, what's going on? You know what I'm saying? Tariq lets him know that, look, man, I want $2 million. Give me $2 million. And, you ain't got to worry about any of this. Mecca's like, well, I'll tell you what. Give me my bags. Give me all this stuff. Give me what you took. And I can have this money in an offshore account. And I can flush it. But you're not going to be able to assess it until you give me my bags, and all my stuff. So that's the terms that Mecca is presenting to Tariq. Now, Mecca does tell Tariq that he sold out Lobos, and that Lobos never found out about this, and he probably would have, but we know Ghost took him out. And he tells Tariq that when he goes to hell to tell his father, good looking out. And I'm looking like, man, this dude, not only is he a snitch, he's happy about it. And you already know he was geeking when Ghost took out Lobos. He heard about that news. That man was dancing. He was having a good old time. But I'm going to tell you right now, if word gets out about Dante Spears' real location, them boys coming for him. The streets coming for him. And you can already tell he was kind of shaky in this episode. And in the preview for episode 10, he looking real shaky and looking real hesitant. Now we get to your boy Brayden and Lauren. And Brayden, he has to eliminate Lauren, but he ain't got it in him. He gives Lauren a big bag of money, telling her, look, you got to go. You got to leave. You got to disappear and never come back here. And this is where Effie pops up, because we knew Brayden wasn't about to do this. They was making it seem like he was, but he couldn't do it. He has feelings. Brayden ain't never did this before. Effie understands exactly who Brayden is, so she pops up to the party because she's following him. She's like, look, you're not going to do it. You're not going to handle business, so now I'm going to have to get involved. The last thing we see is Effie, pretty much hitting Lauren and, taking her to the car. Lauren is pretty much knocked out, and then Effie drives away. And Brayden was just looking. As I told you, they left it like this for a reason. They want the fans to go back and forth and to wonder what really happened to Lauren. As I told you guys, I think she is alive until they actually show us 100% that she's not here anymore. Now your boy Mecca pops back up to go see what Kane is doing, and then he sees Monet. And he's like, what the hell are you doing here? And Monet tells the truth. She's like, look, we know who you are. You know what I'm saying? You've been doing all this just to get me right where you want me and to get me in a position to pretty much do what you need me to do, to have to need you for something, right? And Mecca, he can't really say anything. He does tell Monet, like, look, I knew Kane couldn't do this by himself. He had you on his side. And that's where Monet is like, nah, it was Lorenzo. So once again, she's going back to Lorenzo. She is trying to get Mecca to take him out. And she tells him, look, we have a common enemy, Lorenzo. If you do this for me, take out Lorenzo, we all would go with you. We all would start over. And Mecca's like, for real? Like, okay, like, you cool with this, Kane? Everything is good now? And of course, Kane is looking, and Kane is like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of things that you don't know about my relationship with Lorenzo. So he's going to use that. And I don't know about y'all, but you can tell Kane was lying right through his teeth. He did not look very convincing to me at all. And I believe Mecca is going to know, at least from, Mecca's past. You would think he would know once again that Kane is just flat out lying to him. But we're going to see how it's all going to play out. We know now that Monet, Kane, and of course she's going to get Tariq to try to set up Mecca for the old okie doke. And I got a feeling that it's going to be a twist. I can't wait to see how that's going to play out. Now the episode ends with Effie coming back looking very, very shook, like something just happened, like she just did something. The question is, did she actually take out Lauren? Did she have it in her, right? And they left it like this because they want us to, of course, go back and forth and wonder what really happened. I told you guys in the past, as far as, power history, they done things like this, but in different, type of circumstances. They made it seem like something bad was going to happen to Lakeisha. We know what really happened to her. Tommy Egan took her into hiding, and she was good. And usually in power, and not just power in TV alone, when they don't show you a person 100% being taken out. And in Lauren's case, we didn't really see her be taken out. We just saw her getting, put in that car, and then they drove off. But when they're not showing us that, I got a feeling she has a high chance of surviving. And I do know the actress that plays Effie said that she's going to do something this season that's going to have people wondering, like, what the hell is she doing? But when they see the full game plan of what she is trying to do, they will understand it, a little bit more, and they will respect it. So we're going to see, is Lauren still out there? You know what I'm saying? Is she out there? And another body connected to Stansfield? I don't know about that. Like I told you, we know what happened to Professor Milgram. They kind of brushed that up under the rug, didn't really investigate it like that because of what Professor Milgram was going through as far as her job and stuff like that. So that was kind of brushed up under the rug in my opinion. It's entirely too many bodies popping up connected to the school. So for Lauren's body to pop up, that's going to make things even hotter. I don't know if that body is going to pop up if Effie actually did something to her. I think they're going to leave us once again at a cliffhanger, and we're going to find out the results of Lauren. But we got one more episode left, man. Episode 10, the season finale. We got Mecca going up against Monet, Lorenzo, the Tejada family. And as I told you since the very beginning, Monet is going to lean on Tariq to help save this family. And they're going to need everybody. I told you about Mecca going up against Lorenzo. I said the only way Lorenzo is going to win this war is if Lorenzo has Tariq and his family on his side. And from the looks of it, it's definitely looking like that's going to happen. I think Monet is using Lorenzo's name as bait, as leverage to get Mecca exactly where she wants to get him. But I do believe something is going to happen. Does Lorenzo survive this? Does Mecca survive this? I don't know. But I do know somebody got to get dropped off. The question is, who will be dropped off in this next episode? And does Mecca have something else up his sleeve? Because it's not looking too good for him as of right now. But we're going to find out. But thank you guys for all the love, all the support. Make sure you leave your theories, predictions, everything down below. It is time to get ready for episode 10, the season finale, y'all. We got one more week and one more episode. But let me get up on out of here, man. It's your boy Mark Dark. I'm out. Peace.